Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, The Beginnings of Science. In the last episode, you'll remember that we took a boat over to the island off over in the distance there and collected some science. It was something different and just a little bit cheesy. But then I was looking for something else to do, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to another planet. You'll notice that there's a ship out here, and there is a reason why that ship is out there, and I'll explain in just a second here. I was looking at the asteroids that are coming through, and I noticed something. This one right here. Oh, I have to actually go to map mode. This one here, in probably a little less than 100 and some odd days, will actually impact Kerbin. Now, knowing this, I sent Bill, Bob, and Jeb up in the Kerbal Space Agency's latest creation, the Asteroid Redirect Science Explorer, or, as you guessed it, ARS. Kind of a poor acronym, but I thought it was quite funny. And it's actually the Mark III. And you're going to recognize the craft a little bit, as it's my tug with a bit of a skipper engine put onto a big fuel tank. I could have probably used a full-size tank almost there, but or even two halves. But anyways, I'll show you that asteroid. There's the projected asteroid. Its path. It's going to come in and it's going to smash into Kerbin. So I took and eliminated the launch of the craft, but basically what I did is, when I launched from Kerbal Space, the space center, instead of launching equatorially, I launched at a 45-degree angle, which put me up in this very eccentric orbit. Now I tinkered with it a little bit to get a little better. Boy, I'm having a lot of problems thinking today because it's quite warm. Also, if you hear a bad hum in the background, that's fan. I have to have it on. I can't really function right now without it on, so I do apologize. I have a maneuver set up, which is going to take me out to intercept said asteroid. Now it looks like, wait a minute, it's going to come in here. No, it's actually going to be here when we intercept. And we have until from here to about there before it'll actually intercept. Or, well, until it'll break Kerbin's SOI. So we're actually going to intercept it before it even gets a chance to go into Kerbin. And we're not just going to veer it off course and let it fly out of the Kerbin sphere. Now, I had a brilliant idea. I'm going to use that D-class asteroid as the beginnings of a space station. But one thing I do want to do is I'm going to hit F5. Come back out here, and I'm pretty sure it was only like a 2-minute burn, but I just want to make sure. 2 minutes 37 seconds, so about 1 minute and 20. Okay, we'll go ahead and hit. Oops. Now the only reason I'm reloading that quick save is that I 1 minute 25. I had it set just right. So we'll go ahead and time warp ourselves up. As you can see, we've got solar panels on here. I don't remember if this actually had RBGs or not on it. It's also got lights. But I'm going to hold off on turning those on because it gives it quite a unique look to it. Okay, delete on close. We're just going to go ahead and fire up. And this should have enough energy or enough fuel to finish this entire burn. Or so the user manual told me so. I don't use anything to calculate delta V. I slap parts together and have fun with it. So this may be the most inefficient ship that you'll ever see. But for capturing asteroids, it seems to work. This was just a modification I did to it, along with this reverse pipe on it. Though I think this pipe should have been longer. Okay. Already halfway through. Slow ourselves down. Actually, let's just go ahead and give it all she's got. Uh-oh. We'll let that drift off. Now we're not really all that close. We're about 186 kilometers, but as we get closer, we can slowly burn that down. I want to get that as close to zero as I can. And, ooh. Okay. See if we can... Let's go ahead and push away with the RCS. We're trying to get that down under, at least under 1,000 kilometers. I'd kind of like that under 100 kilometers if I can. Actually, I probably should. Okay, got lots of monoprop. Just backing off a little bit. Let's get out of that for just right now. Just want to change our relative position to it. Actually, it'd probably be easier to... Oops. Turn ourselves around here. And we'll put ourselves right about here is where I think it needs to be. Just use our thrusters to the best of our ability. And that's going to be close enough there. Set. Oops, we already have him as a target. So we'll go ahead and set a maneuver node out here. Let's go ahead and add an alarm. Let's just go for... Whoa, we've already burned through that first tank of fuel already. Now mainly all this is going to do is to get it away from being impacting Kerbin. Actually. Delete on close. Okay. Oh, I didn't delete it. Okay, so how far are we? We're about 1,000. So what we want to do is rotate this around. And actually push this maneuver node as much as possible. Oh. Because I had the wrong... So when we're about here, we're going to add another maneuver node, or another alarm. Because what I want to do is I want to keep this retrograde marker on there, so that way I can burn off speed relative to my target. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, and when I come back, I will hopefully have a good encounter with it, and from there we can go ahead and dock to it and start running our tests and preparing for the second leg of the journey. And we are back. As you can see now, the asteroid is about a little better than a kilometer and a half away, but it's still fairly large, as you can tell. So we're just waiting for it to get a little bit closer, and then we'll reduce our speed some more. Okay, we're underneath the kilometer. Let's go ahead and knock our speed down to about 5 meters a second, give or take. We're still pretty much aimed right at it. Time to kick on some lights. As you can see, we've got funky lights. Purple, green, and the outer two are yellow. Still got quite a bit of fuel left, although this front tank here is empty, and these aren't even a quarter of the way empty yet. So we're doing fine for fuel. Got plenty of battery charge. Now that we're under 700 meters, go ahead and take ourselves down to about 3 meters a second. And we will just keep this up until we're within docking range. Still at 3 meters a second, that's pretty fast. From here, I can't do it because I'm too far away. Also, you'll note that I have lots of docking ports on this, but I'm not going to be able to take use of them. Like I said, I should have extended this out one more piece, but that's okay. Okay. Go ahead and close the alarm clock because we don't need that open. Oh, I was going to explain this. This here is the protractor I had originally. It used to be a little clock here. Now they made it into a toolbar integration, which is great. As it gets that off the screen. Let's go ahead and peel ourselves down some more. 2.5 meters a second. That is really big. That is a D class right there. Just want to check something. Oh crap, I can't. I'm so close now that I don't want to do it. So we'll go back into not map mode. Slow her down some more. And we're so close to being on target that it's almost ridiculous because we're almost on the exact same projection and everything. Which is great. That's exactly what you want when you're docking. You basically want to be in the exact same orbital plane as the craft, or in this case the asteroid. Okay. Down to 1.6 meters a second. Now, what I'm wondering, though... Oh, I don't know if that'll work for an asteroid or not. If not, I can dock to an asteroid because the Claw does not need a docking port. Turn down my sound effects a little bit on my end. Let's go ahead and get ourselves down to under 100 meters. If you're going to use time warp, use it very gingerly. Do not time warp, I would say, past 2 times. Oh, the second arrow. Went 4 meters a second. And let's go ahead and drop that even further. And because we are so close, target center of mass. Okay. Oh, I can't. Oh, I have to have that targeted still so I can see how far away I am. Alright, time to open up the claw. And there it is. The claw. Grr. Let's go ahead and time warp some more. Get ourselves even closer. That is a very nice size asteroid. Okay, we are under 100 meters. We're almost to the... Okay, at 10 times warp, that's about as fast as I would ever go. Just because if you go too fast and you get a glitch, you may smash apart your ship. Okay. Let's go ahead and target center of mass. We're going to go ahead and use RCS, and we're going to flip ourselves around and point ourselves okay. Give ourselves a couple quick puffs. Actually, I'm going to turn off the yellow because that is blinding. I forgot to take those lights off of there. Now the reason you want to be at center of mass on this is that this way when you thrust, your thrusting will be pretty equal. Okay. And 0.2 meters a second. We'll go up one more. There we go. We're getting closer. Now it'll be nice as if I can get, if it's equally proportioned, I should be able to not have to worry too much about it being off center. And Kerbin, slow down to a meter a second, or a tenth of a meter a second. This looks like it's going to be a really nice spot to grab. Trying to get it right inside the center of mass, because we're going to have to aero brake this thing around, or well, aero capture it around Kerbin. But that will not be in this episode. So hopefully you've enjoyed me capturing an asteroid. Come on. That should be it right there. I can see its shadow. And it is in. There it is. Dead center. Okay, well, let's see if we can take a crew report. Oh, there's nothing I can get from here. Well, Jebediah, you've been out here for so long. Let go. Turn on the RCS pack. Oh, you can't... There's no science? Huh. Well, that's kind of a bummer. Ah, there we are. Take a surface sample. You've collected a surface sample. Rename this. Watch Tower. Okay. Oops. Well, time to get back into the ship and get ready for the second part of this mission. So, if you've enjoyed this episode, please like, favorite, and subscribe. You can always ask me questions. I know I've gotten a few in the last couple episodes, and I'm working on getting those questions answered best I can with what I have right now. If you want to see more videos, they'll be at the end of the description in annotation. And until next time, have fun.